Hey guys, I am here with a last minute Nightmare Corridor guide. I apologize for the lateness of this guide, but I did disclaim in my Treasure Scramble guide, if you watched that obviously, that I would be busy this weekend with exams, my dad coming over, and also uh, Abyssal Expedition. Yeah, we didn't get much sleep when that launched because I live in Europe and yeah, the time zones are not kind with Abyssal Expedition. I hope you guys had a nice start to Abyssal Expedition if you play that one. Anyways, for Nightmare Corridor, as you can see, I ranked in the top 11%, which is actually a bit worse than I usually do. I usually land in like the 7 to 8% range, but at this point, it's really hurting me only having 2 Awakened Heroes built. I can't lie. So I believe my best attempt was this one, right? So for this guide, I'll just go over my teams, and then I'll go over the guides that I based my teams upon, and where you guys can find help with your teams. Excuse me. So for the first team here, yeah, this is kind of a scuffed team. As you can see, I killed the boss in 1 minute and 7 seconds. But honestly, I'm very happy with this team because usually you need Awakened Thane or Awakened Baden for this team to even work, right? But I was able to use Lucretia with Ainz and Damon, like just a lot of damage to kill the boss in time without using any Awakened Heroes for this roster, right? Which is very free to play friendly. Like you would have Lucretia and Ainz built if you're a free to play player because those are crucial in campaign. Well, Ainz not so much anymore, but he did used to. And even if he's not crucial in campaign, he's very good in PvP for free to play players, right? Because you can build a solid dimensional team with him. Anyways, so yeah, this team is definitely the one that I can improve. The best improvement I could make is getting another Awakened hero, but I'm holding on to my cards until I see how strong Athalia is, because I've seen some disturbing screenshots of her soloing like 260 level deficits in campaign and stuff like that. So I think she might be a monster that is probably good to get. Anyways, now for a team that I actually can build for the best in slot team anyhow. Is the Awakened Belinda team, because I actually have Awakened Belinda build, right? As you can see the difference. Don't have an Awakened hero 1 minute, have an Awakened hero sub 30 seconds, right? So yeah, this team pretty self-explanatory. Awakened Belinda, and if you don't have her build, she works at legendary. I believe, I've been told, I haven't tested myself obviously because I only run one account, but yeah, pretty self-explanatory team, pretty strong as well. Very happy I built her. Now for the next team, as you can see here, Scarlet just casually doing 10 billion damage, killing the boss in 36 seconds. Very, very free to play friendly team as well, this one, because it doesn't use an Awakened hero, and also twins you should have built, and the rest is actually 4 faction heroes, right? With the Blade Rich pet. Just in case you guys don't watch my other content, I constantly stress the importance of building out the pets. Now, obviously, if you're earlier, you want to build out heroes, but for example, at my stage of an account, getting pets to higher level, I just got the resonating pet resonating to 9, right? And I'm now gonna just all in on baits to get it to 12 because the pets just seem to increase in strength, right? And if we follow this trajectory, especially with the new pet, the seal, which I use in this team, right? Just a quick disclaimer, right? It doing 1 billion damage, right? If future pets are gonna be similar, having them higher would just be crazy. Anyways, so yeah, Scarlet team, self-explanatory, Blade Rich pet, it's all good. Next team, here another free-to-play friendly, because I believe Solus works at legendary. Again, a lot of beliefs here, but she used to work at legendary, so I would guess she does still so right now as well. But yeah, as you can see, 4 faction heroes, right? No celestial or hypergens, and this guy is just, I say it every time. This guy's just impressing me in PvP, in Wilder Tower, and in this game mode. He is just completely cracked, right? Because he's so quick at doing damage. So I'm building this guy out, and I recommend you guys put him on your wish list and build him out as well. But yeah, self-explanatory team. Now, something to note, right? As you can see, this guy's a ranger, but for Abyssal Expedition, I have reset my tree. So as you can see here, my ranger tree is at 0. So it's quite possible that might also contribute to my rank loss this time around, because my tree is completely messed up for the Abyssal Expedition. But so be it. For the second to last team, this is the bane of everyone's existence, right? This is the Dark Nemora team, which is, as free to play, you have 2 options, right? You have to Merc, or if you have her build Matria, or you need to use Kren. And if you use Kren, you need to assemble the Avenger squad of important support heroes to even be able to kill this round. So that's why I made sure to Merc Matria for this, basically just for Nightmare Corridor. But you can use Kren. I'll show you the combination that uses Kren. Another thing for this round is it's also very Authors dependent, and I don't have Authors built, right? Authors would slot in instead of Rowan, right? So yeah, if you guys like me don't have Authors, you're just gonna have to get creative with it. But I'll just show you a guide, basically the guide that I used, right, to build my teams, and then where I had to kind of pivot from the guide because it didn't work out for me. And then for the last team here, actually a fairly free-to-play friendly team, only one Celestial and Hypergen with Theo, right? And then I use the new hero who I just got ascended today. As you can see, he's only 3 basic furniture, 24 signature item, completely scuffed gear, like, and also he's a ranger, right, with my ranger tree reset. But he actually just really pops off this round. But something when you look at this team, you should note is the pet, right? Because the pet also is doing 1 billion damage, the Slumber Seal. So yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I could improve this with more retries with different heroes, right? But I am done spending diamonds to retry this. I usually spend 1 pair of diamonds to try and improve my RNG, but that's about it, right? So those were my 6 teams, right? Killing the 6 bosses in 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about is the ranking in this game mode, right? As you can see, unlike Cursed Realm, for example, which is just one big blob, Nightmare Corridor is actually based on regions, right? Which is really good for us free-to-play players because we don't have to compete with the whales, especially in Region 4, which is a very whaley region, right? As you can see. Here we have Julius, right? And maybe you guys don't know Julius, but he is one of the maxed accounts in free-to-play AFK Arena. He's definitely not free-to-play, my bad. He's one of the completely maxed, like full engraving, full everything. Right, he resides in Region 4, but if you're a newer account, it's based on your server. You get to play with these guys, right? And as you can see, well, I mean, there are some whales, obviously, but there are a lot fewer whales. As you can see, it drops down to 3 minutes here. There are a lot fewer whales in the Region 7, and eventually Region 8 will be really nice for a free-to-play player to reside in, because you don't fight the older whales and the older accounts. Like, for example, you wouldn't fight me, right? I'm a free-to-play account, but I'm 2 years old. My account is 2 years old, right? So if Region 8 unlocks, you wouldn't have to fight me for a leaderboard and for rewards. So yeah, also that's because some people are like, wait, I get a better time than you, right? How come I'm ranked worse? Well, that would be because of the regions, right? With this time in Region 4 or Region 1 or something, I'm guessing I'm like top 92% or something. I have, me and my guild often discuss this, right? But yeah, very nice ranking system they have for the Nightmare Corridor. Anyways, that was a little bit of rambling, but I do want to show you guys a guide that I found on the crowdsourcing Discord, which I based my teams upon. Shout out to whoever made this guide, which is in Chinese, that I don't read, right? Oh, that was a mistake. I don't read Chinese, but again, as I always said, if you find a Chinese guide, it's good because, I mean, the Chinese people just make the best guides for AFK Arena, in my opinion, anyways. Obviously, the Cursed Friends guide is up there as well. But here you can see you just want to pay attention to the left column here, because the right column is actually I believe this is a Cursed Realm guide. Yeah, it is, because you see Samira here. So I guess if you wanted a Cursed Realm guide, you could look at this as well. But I also just uploaded the video. You could watch with based on a guide that is a lot better than this. Anyways, now as you can see, this guide, right? It shows you the best in slot teams, which as a free-to-play player you actually can't like do much with, but because as you can see here, 1 awakened hero, 2 awakened heroes, 3 awakened heroes, 4 awakened heroes, 5 awakened heroes, right? No free-to-play player has those, and that's why it has some replacements, right? But not the replacements that you want. For example, here it's like, oh yeah, you don't have awakened Thane? Well, don't worry, we have a replacement. It's awakened Baden, right? But I don't have either. So I that's where, if you, I just real quick just want to go back to my game, right, for my round 1, which is the round I'm actually most proud of, right. This is the combination where I used Lucretia and Eins, right. And I found that team on the crowdsourcing Discord server, which I'll show later. But I just real quick just want to say that this guide is not everything, because it doesn't show you the replacement that you would want to see, which is where you would go to the crowdsourcing Discord server, which is also where I found this guide. But anyways, as you can see, the teams are pretty much similar to mine, right? This is not the same. This is exactly the same. This is pretty much the same. This is pretty much the same. Here I had to get creative because I don't have authors, right? So I threw in Nevanthi, I think. I don't know if that was correct, but that just seemed to work out the best for me. And here, right, I don't have Brutus built, so I threw in the new hero. And I didn't use Kren, right? I believe I used Sophia here, just for some backline buffing. But yeah, that team could probably get improved as well. So yeah, this is basically the teams, right? If you have everything built, just build these teams and you'll do fine. One last thing before I send you guys off, I just want to shout out to the FK Arena crowdsourcing Discord server. As you can see here, they have a Nightmare Corridor section where you can chat, ask people, help, I need help with this team, right? And this is also where I found the Eins combination that I used in Team 1. I believe I found it, as you can see, they have the different rotations, right? This is the last rotation, but now the boss is different. But you can go back because there are still similar bosses. So you can still look at some of these combinations. For example, Dark Namora, it's still a boss, right? So you can lose, here's a guy using Krent, right? If you don't have Matria, but he uses Brutus as well, so that's probably not even a help, right, for some people. But yeah, look through these screenshots here, chat in here, and that would help you improve a lot. I'll leave a link to the crowdsourcing Discord server in the description. But that's about it for my guide, right? Again, apologies for the late guide. Again, just a really busy weekend with Abyssal expeditions, exams, and I had to house my father for 2 days. But now I should be able to get them out in better time for the next rotations, right? So that's about it from me. Take care, guys.